Update 4 is just around the corner and it's bringing restaurants to Planet Coaster 2. But that's not all. Today we are diving deep into what's coming next, including some exciting speculation about Update 5 and beyond. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am MrSimside, and before we dive into what's coming with Update 4, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It really helps me to make my channel grow. Thanks to Frontier for providing me some screenshots and video material that I can share with you as some other creators in today's video. I decided to not rush a video out directly after the Frontier Unlocked stream because I wanted to prepare some more deep dives for today's episode. Now let's get started with Update 4, which Frontier is aiming to release it on April 22nd, which will be or is actually a Tuesday. And it's not too far in the future, so I am already very excited about this. The main feature in Update 4 will be the restaurants, and Frontier just released a quick sneak peek of the development version of the restaurants. The biggest improvement in my opinion is the much smaller footprint because they are only 4 by 4 meter and they look really amazing. You are able to connect them to your path system and people will get their food and roam around freely to the tables, sit down and enjoy their food. In comparison to the Planet Coaster 1 version of restaurants and also from Planet Zoo, this is a very welcoming improvement to the restaurant system and I cannot wait to use them on my future park builds. My favorite improvement and the biggest critique in Planet Zoo was that there were only 2 types of tables available, but as we saw in the Frontier Unlocked stream, now all picnic benches are also able to be connected to restaurants, which makes it even easier to have nice themed restaurants in your park. As there is no additional free theme being added to the game, we still get some additional scenery pieces that are missing from the Western set, which has been added in Update 3. Frontier stated in their Unlocked stream that some of the animatronics as well as the dynamite pieces have been left out because they had to make sure that no age restrictions apply, and now they are coming back in Update 4 as well. I thought about the missing entertainer from the Western theme, Miss Ellie, which didn't make a return so far, but she was shooting with her guns also. So I am wondering if this could be maybe another surprise, but this is full speculation at this moment. I really hope that we will maybe see some of the old entertainers make a comeback as well. A small but very welcome quality of life improvement is the recolorable pool water, and of course the pool tiles are also gonna be recolorable. This is a nice addition because I always hope that we could recolor our pools into to fit it better into different themed areas, and I am wondering if we might also get the opportunity for other water segments like natural water from the terrain being recolorable as well in the future. This is a feature that has been introduced in Planet Zoo back then, so I'm hoping this will be something that Frontier is also thinking about. If not, and if you're listening, please add it to the game as well. Now let's talk about the new rides being added to Planet Coaster 2 with Update 4. We are getting 2 de-themed versions of existing coasters. The first one is the spinning Crazy Mouse and the second one is the flying coaster from B&M, which got its Manta design removed. I really love those 2 additions because I never built the mouse because of its mousy face, and when I tried to attach some scenery, some parts of the face always came through somehow. And I actually wouldn't have thought that the flying coaster is going to be added to this list, which I'm coming back a little later with my upcoming updates speculation. But I didn't have the feeling that this coaster was so heavily themed, and I just thought Frontier maybe leave it out with the de-theming, but I'm super happy that they are adding this de-themed version of the coaster as well. As the returning flat ride, we are getting this Geyser back, which is an amazing addition. It is fully customizable and overworked by the team of Frontier, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Before we wrap up update 4, I want to talk about some more additions. First of all, we are getting a switch in the settings to make coaster supports available on paths. As from what I've heard on the stream, they will kind of work like a barrier that people will properly move around them, which would be super cool. When I think back of the first videos that got released about Planet Coaster 2, I already saw some coaster supports. I think they may be been left out because they didn't work properly on paths, but now they are coming back as an option, which is super cool because it's just another step into a more realistic state, because you will always see coaster supports on paths in real theme parks as well. From Act 2 there will be 2 more career maps added to the game as sandbox options. Also a very nice addition for those of you who don't want to start on a blank flat map. That's it for update 4. I would say let's dive into the sneak peek we got about update 5 via the roadmap. I really enjoy the transparency that Frontier is giving us at the moment, and I really hope that we keep that state for further updates after update 5, but let's talk about this in just a moment. The main feature that is coming to update 5 is the security guards and security management. This will include security cams, and I also think the security guards are reworked as all the other staff members to a multi-gender version, so they will spawn in different versions of their looks, and I am sure they will also be recolorable with their uniform, and I think they will be pretty much the same as in Planet Zoo, where they had to take care of vandalism and people who are pickpocketing other guests. Frontier actually teased the sci-fi theme making a return in update 5, which will be 2 months after the Western theme has been released. So I am thinking that Frontier is aiming for a new or adding a free base game theme from Planet Coaster 1 to the game every 2 months from now, but I'm not sure how they are going to continue, so let's talk about the sci-fi theme being added. Frontier actually said that it is going with a laser focus, and I was wondering and discussing with some of my buddies if this could mean that we are seeing a return of the RCT free lasers, because they would be a perfect addition to the fireworks we already have in-game. And the sci-fi theme is the smallest theme when it comes to the amount of pieces. I double checked in Planet Coaster 1 and we have got 48 building pieces and 89 scenery pieces, which is less than the half of the Western theme. So adding some more lasers to the theme and maybe some other building pieces, or adding multiple wall set pieces to this as an addition to improve it for Planet Coaster 2 would be really, really nice. Let's see what Frontier makes out of it, but I'm pretty sure that the sci-fi theme is confirmed with the tease, so I cannot wait to get my hands on this additional theme. And I think it will be as with the Western theme. I didn't build a lot with them in Planet Coaster 1 because I was more into Pirates and Fairy Tale, but I'm sure that I am going to build amazing stuff with these newly added pieces. Another thing we could spot on the roadmap is the returning ride, which is marked as a flat ride, but this seems to be a mistake. Like a typo from Frontier. It was actually a coaster, and if we take a look at the previous updates, Frontier isn't renaming the returning rides. So the Trident is the boomerang coaster from Vekoma with the old track, so I'm pretty sure that this will be the ride that is returning, as we don't have those this one in-game already. I took a closer look at the boomerang coasters in Planet Coaster 2, and we don't have the same as we had in Planet Coaster 1. Especially the SLV, the Anton Schwarzkopf coaster, isn't having a boomerang option at the moment, so I'm really hoping that due to the fact that a new boomerang coaster is being added to the game, they will hopefully also work on some boomerang versions of other coasters in-game as well, but let's see what this brings. Last but not least, the Career Maps Act 3 will be added as sandbox version for being used as starter maps as well. So for all those people out who want to enjoy Act 3 as a sandbox option, they will be there for you to use. With everything we know so far about the future of Planet Coaster 2, the actual roadmap is nearing its end with update 4 and 5, and we have absolutely no clue what Frontier is preparing afterwards for update 6 or 7 or everything beyond that. So I thought this is the perfect time to speculate a bit about what could be added to the game. And I really have to state at this point that I have no information about what's coming next. And this is 100% speculation and talking about things the community wants to see from what I've been reading online in comments and on the official forums. So I put together some things that I want to show you. I'm wondering if Frontier will keep up that high pace with their updates. So maybe if they do so, we will see an update 6 in June, possibly an update 7 in July, and update 8 in August. I think at the latest, based on the two free themes, Pirates and Fairy Tale, which would be then out in update 7 in July and update 9 in September, would be the end of this monthly update rhythm. I actually think that Frontier delivered enough till today that they could already prepare a first DLC, because the game is in such a better state at the moment, and I think maybe if they don't keep up that pace, we could see a first DLC in June already. That's why the roadmap maybe ended with May, and we are back with just an update every 3 months alongside a DLC. So this would mean that we would maybe get the Pirates theme next to the first DLC and the Fairy Tale next to the second DLC in end of September or October. I would love to hear what you think about the next 3 updates. Do you think Frontier will contain with a monthly release, or should they go back to their quarterly release alongside a DLC? Let me know in the comments down below. When it comes to a feature that would be added to an update 6 or 7, I was thinking about the hotels or the gift shops. Maybe gift shops could make it into the game because they are newly added from Planet Zoo, and the modular gift shop system was already pretty nice in Planet Zoo, so they wouldn't have to improve a lot on this. I could imagine that to add hotels to the game, they want to improve a lot more in comparison to Planet Coaster 1, as they did with the restaurants. And hotels weren't a thing in Planet Zoo, so there has no evolution been made in the past with development. So I could also imagine that they maybe skip hotels this time and release them later in one of the future updates. We didn't talk before about dethemed coasters for update 5, and I just thought to put it into this section of the video because it's pure speculation. I put together a little overview of some of the rides that I think are still heavily themed in some way and that they could be added as stock coaster versions to the game as well. I think all of them are a very nice addition to the game, but I think that Frontier is going with the RMC ones next, because when they talked the first time about these themed versions of the coaster, it was with the burning texture inside the RMC coaster car, and they stated that they will be adding less themed versions of the coaster trains to the game in the future, which they are now obviously doing. But I would also love to see a version of the mine train without the train outside front car, to have the possibility to maybe make your own trains or just doing a completely different style with this coaster type. Before we end today's video, I want to quickly talk about some of the most requested changes and the biggest feedback that is still on the list and should be worked on, not only from what I've read on the forums or on YouTube in the comments or on social media. This is also matching my thoughts about the game, and as we got so many improvements already, and I'm really happy with the journey the game has made since its release, I would like that Frontier is taking a closer look to these topics. I already prepared some feedback for the developers, which I will provide to the team as well. And I wanted to, just talk about those topics with you, and I would also love to hear your feedback or what you are thinking about those specific topics as well. I think one of the biggest complaints is the weather system. It is absolutely amazing that we got rain in the game now, but it was much better implemented in Planet Zoo. We had on cloudy or rainy days completely grayish looks, so we didn't see the sun when it was raining in Planet Zoo. I think this is much more realistic for heavy rain. I don't want to say that it couldn't be a little sunny with some rain happening, because that's also somehow realistic, especially when it's changing from one weather situation to another. But I think Frontier should really work on the lighting during weather changes. And I would really love to see at the latest for the next winter season that we will get snow into the game, because it was already possible in Planet Zoo. So I think the engine should be able to handle this. I could imagine that it is, as they are taking a closer look at some special effects, that the coasters look properly, and I also think it has some kind of impact to the rides, as the time is much slower and we are having rides in lakes or in water areas. Usually real life theme parks close their water rides for winter season, and I could imagine that Frontier just wants to do this properly why they decided to leave it out in the initial game release. The next thing on my list are the improvements of water rides. I would like to see better water textures in the canals, and I would also love to see better physics, especially on the river rapids ride. I think Frontier has shown us what they are able to do when they improved the flume physics and the animations on all the water slides. So I think a little more love could be, given to the river rapids, because they look pretty unrealistic in comparison, and they are just the same as in Planet Coaster 1. The last thing I would like to see in the game is additional special track pieces. I think they are nicely implemented for the newly added coaster and for some existing rides like the log flume, but I definitely was somehow disappointed when I first opened up the game and I saw that we got an elevator on the log flume but not on the river rapids, because it's actually also possible to have an elevator on the river rapids like we see it at River Quest at Phantasialand or at Infinity Falls in Orlando SeaWorld. So this would be a very nice addition, that Frontier is also adding some special tracks to existing rides. Next to this, I would really like to see special track pieces for the spinning coaster to make something like the Whinger Fear and Force at Phantasialand. This coaster at the moment is only featuring the regular lift hill and track pieces, and it would also be nice to maybe see an elevator on this as well, because Whinger Fear and Force also has an elevator. So I hope Frontier is still thinking about adjusting some of the possible track pieces for existing coasters and rides as well. When I took a look at all the coasters we have in-game now, I also thought about the Muck coaster, that it would be nice to have something like a turntable or something like this in-game. I am pretty sure that we will get this one as soon as something like the Striker coaster, which is new for Voltron, being added to the game. But I would love to see if the track type is the same in game, that we have the special pieces on all different coasters, because it would be a lot more flexible. And I think Frontier shouldn't stick to adding special pieces to coasters that are mainly focused on them in real life, because it's actually possible on most of the coasters. So I really hope they work on this, and I cannot wait what the future brings. That's actually it for today's video. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's deep dive and speculation into the future of Planet Coaster 2. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, support me by hitting the like button, and for some engagement, you can also just drop an emoji in the comment section. If you want, join my Discord and become a member of my growing community. I thank you so much for all the support over the last couple of months, and I cannot wait to celebrate my first anniversary in June this year. So thanks to all of you, and I see you in the next one.